Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning back in for today's video. It's Son of a Gun Gourmet. And in this one, I'm going to show you how to make some amazing fall off the bone barbecue ribs. I hope you enjoy. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We're almost at 100 subs, so thank you everyone for all your support. You guys are awesome. Now, let's start cooking. The first thing you're going to want to do is peel and large dice one onion. I like to braise my ribs. It's a great way to get tough cuts really tender, and you could pack them full of flavor with a good recipe. And I really wanted to share this one with everyone because most of the videos I could find about cooking ribs either involve a smoker or a barbecue, and not everyone has access to those tools. But if you follow this recipe, you'll be able to make some awesome ribs and you won't even need to leave the kitchen. Next, peel 8 cloves of garlic, and once they're peeled, you could just leave them whole. Ribs are a great meal, especially for get-togethers, so I hope you try this recipe out and impress your friends and family with it. Another great thing about knowing how to make ribs in the oven is that you don't have to worry about the weather. Nobody likes to grill in the pouring rain or in the middle of winter, but you can enjoy your ribs this way all year round, rain or shine. In a pot, we're going to combine all the ingredients for the braise. Throw in your garlic and diced onion. Then add 1 tablespoon of black peppercorn, 1 tablespoon of whole coriander seeds, 1 teaspoon of whole cloves, 5 bay leaves, and 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. Next, we're going to add 1 can of hard cider. Apple and pork are best friends in the kitchen, so cider is a great option to braise with. Additionally, alcohol will help bring out the flavor of the meat and tenderize it at the same time. And the last ingredient is 1 cup of chicken stock. Once you have everything in the pot, bring it to a boil. This braising liquid should act as a good base to work off of. But once you get comfortable with it, don't be afraid to use your imagination and experiment with more herbs and spices to suit your palate and expand the flavor. Once it comes to a boil, turn off the heat and let all the ingredients steep for about 20 to 30 minutes, and at the same time preheat the oven to 325 degrees. I used to prepare my ribs and then immediately pour this braising liquid over top, but now I steep and strain it because picking all the spices and onion off the ribs could be a real pain. Now it's time to get the ribs ready to go in the oven. Preparing ribs is pretty straightforward. All you have to really do is turn them over and remove the membrane. We remove it because it's very chewy and no cooking process really breaks it down. It's also really easy to remove. All you have to do is separate enough that you could grab a handful and then just pull it all right off the ribs. And these are spare ribs that I'm working with, but the whole process can be used for back ribs. All you have to do is decrease the braising time. I don't have an oven or pans big enough to fit these in whole, so I'm just going to split them in half before I braise them. But if you can fit them in whole, do that instead. As I arrange the ribs in the pan that I'll be braising them in, I season each side well. Seasoning is a critical part of braising. Because the liquid will carry your seasoning deep into the tissue, you have a great opportunity to permeate a lot of flavor through it. And salt plays a big part in that. Next, I'll lay some sprigs of thyme over the ribs. And once the braising liquid is steeped, I'll strain it off as I pour it over the ribs, filling up the pan about 1/3 of the way. If you don't feel that you have enough braising liquid, you could top it up with some chicken or vegetable stock. Now the ribs are ready to go in the oven. Cover them with a layer of parchment paper, then cover the whole pan with a layer of tinfoil. Braise your ribs at 325 for 1 hour and 45 minutes. And when they're done, they'll be beautifully tender and ready to fall off the bone. Now, to finish these ribs off, clean the thyme off them and lay them onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Generously brush all the ribs with barbecue sauce. And I'd highly recommend using my homemade barbecue sauce because it pairs perfectly with the flavors provided by the braise. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. And to get these ribs beautifully caramelized, I'll set my oven to broil and pop them in. After about 5 minutes, you're going to see them darken just a little bit, and it's at that point I'm going to take them out and put another good layer of sauce and put them back in the oven. Keep them in until you see the ribs get good caramelization. Should take about 5 to 10 minutes. And just like that, they're ready to serve. Now you know that a barbecue or smoker aren't the only ways to make great ribs. You could make tender, delicious ribs, and all you need is an oven. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. I appreciate the support, and I look forward to showing you more great dishes. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep on cooking.